Okay, we're going to read the next chapter of The Case of the School Ghost by Dori, Hillestad, Butler. We're reading chapter 9, but let's talk about chapter 8. So, chapter 8 is when they go down to the furnace room. Remember those, there was that note, and they had to figure out the weird letters that didn't spell anything. And then they figured out if they go back one, I think it was back one, then it really does find the words. Replace each letter with the letter that comes after it in the alphabet. And then it says, go to the furnace room, right? And then, it says find the secret door. And Buddy found it before they did. And then they went into it. It was big enough for all of them to get into, and Buddy smelled popcorn, cookies, and candy. And when they got to the end, there were some kids who were sitting on the floor in front of a closet door. Okay, so this chapter is called The Agatha Society. Hey, you brought Buddy, one of the kids on the floor says. I go over and let him pet me. Then I sniff at the closed door behind his. I smell dirt, fertilizer, gasoline, tools. Where are we, I wonder? What's on the other side of that door? Who are you guys? Michael asks. We're fifth graders. Jillian says, this is Tim O'Brien. She points her flashlight at a boy who smells like chocolate, rain, mud, and baseball. The boy squints. Tim lives on my street, Jillian goes on, and that's Alex Schaefer. She shines her flashlight on a girl with long wet hair who smells like chocolate, rain, and mud. I don't know the other two. I know one of the others. I know the boy who smells like chocolate, rain, mud, rabbit, and basketball. His name is the same as the girl's, Alex. He's Maya's brother. I think I know now where Maya got the idea to hide those lizards in the furnace room. Her brother probably told her about it. I'm Alex Lensing, the boy Alex says, and I'm Mira Amin, says a girl who smells like chocolate, rain, mud, and bubblegum. Aha! She's the one whose scent I smelled on the grate, and in the tunnel, and on all those papers and flashlights. You're probably wondering why we've called you here tonight, Tim says, turning on his flashlight. You called us here? Michael says. He sounds a little disappointed. What? Were you thinking Agatha called you here? Mira says, chomping on her gum. The other fifth graders smirk. We are the members of the Agatha Society, Tim says. We're the ones who invited you here tonight. Members of the what? Connor says. The Agatha Society, Tim repeats. It's a secret club that's been at this school for more than 40 years. The only people who know about it are the people who are in it now, the people who have been in it before, and now you guys. I'm not sure what I think about secret clubs. There used to be another secret club at this school. It was called the Sharks. I remember a boy pulled the fire alarm to get into that club. I hope this isn't that kind of club. You have to promise not to tell anyone about this club before we go any further, Mira says. Do you promise? Connor, Michael, and Jillian all look at each other. I guess. Sure. Okay. That doesn't sound very serious, the boy Alex says. If you're going to join the Agatha Society, you have to take it seriously. How do we know if we even want to join? Connor asks. You haven't told us what the club is or what you do. Tim, Alex, and Mara look at each other. Mostly we sit around and eat candy, the girl Alex says. Mara nudges Alex. We do other stuff. Like what? Jillian asks. We keep the story of Agatha alive, Tim says. Was Agatha a real person? Connor says. Yes, Mara says. She went to school here a long, long time ago. Her story is written down in here. Mara holds up an old book. Jillian reaches for the book, but Mara yanks it away. Only full members of the Agatha Society can see the book. What do we have to do to become full members? Michael asks. You've already done most of what you need to do, Tim says. You were chosen by a current member. You completed the tasks we gave you in your letters. You solved our secret code, and you found your way to our secret hideout. Now all you have to do is take the club oath. That's like a promise. Before we do that, can you tell us more about the club? Connor asks. You must do something else besides eat and keep the story of Agatha alive? Well, we bring in new members during the 4th grade sleepover, Alex says. A long time ago, the club used to do random acts of kindness, sort of things, Mira says. You know, like give somebody flowers and not say who they're from. People were supposed to think that they were from Agatha, the girl Alex says. There were years the club made ghostly recordings and stuff so people would think the school was haunted, the boy Alex says. It's all in the book, Mira says. Everything the club has ever done is written up in the book. There's also a list of all the people who have ever been members of the club in the book, Tim says. There are some very surprising names on that list. He wiggles his eyebrows. Yeah, like who? Michael asks. Mira hugs the book tight to her chest. You can't know until you're an official member of the club, she says. So what do you say? Tim asks. Do you want to join the best club at this school? Yes, for sure, yes, Connor says. Michael and Jillian say, okay, Michael, they all say it. Yes, yes, for sure. Okay then, Tim says, come join our circle. The 5th graders all stand up and make room for the 4th graders. I stay back out of the circle. Raise your right hand and repeat after me, Tim says, holding up his right hand. Connor, Michael, and Jillian all raise their right hands. I, state your name, Tim says. I, Connor Keene, Michael Ford, Jillian Sinclair. Do solemnly swear to keep all of the secrets of the Agatha Society, Tim says. Do solemnly swear to keep all the secrets of the Agatha Society. Connor, Michael, and Jillian repeat, their hands still raised. I now pronounce you members of the Agatha Society, Tim says. The other 5th graders clap. Yay! Connor, Michael, and Jillian all grin at each other. Cool, Michael says. Tim reaches into his pocket and pulls out three shiny objects. Keys! He hands one to each of the 4th graders. What are these for? Connor asks, eyeing the keys in his hand. You know that old shed that's in the back of the school? The boy Alex says. Yeah, Connor says. The boy Alex puts his hand on the door behind him. That's what's on the other side of this door. It's how we get in here for meetings. Your key unlocks the shed. Once you're in the shed, you can get into the tunnel and eventually into the furnace room and the rest of the school. Do any of the teachers know that kids have these keys? Connor asks. Does my mom? Nope, says Mira. And we're going to keep it that way. How do you get into the school from the tunnel? Jillian asks. Doesn't somebody have to be in the school to untwist the screws on the grate? Not if the screws aren't in very tight, Tim says. You should be able to kick the grate in, and voila, you're in the school. Cool, Michael says. We hold all our meetings right here in the tunnel, the girl Alex says. If you ever tell anyone about the club or its secrets, you'll be kicked out, Mira warns. Don't worry, Michael says. We know how to keep a secret, don't we, guys? Yes, of course, Connor and Jillian nod their heads. Good, Mira says. She brings the big book over to them and opens it up. Connor, Michael, and Jillian gaze at it. I try to look too, but it's all writing, no pictures. Tim reaches into his pocket and pulls out a pen and hands it to Jillian. Now you guys have to sign the book. I watch as Jillian, Connor, and Michael all write their names. So who else has been a member of this club? Michael asks, paging through the book. You said there were some surprise names in here, but so far I don't recognize any of them. The 5th graders all grin knowingly at one another. Keep going, Alex the girl says, all the way back to the first name on the list. Connor and Jillian peer over Michael's shoulder. Connor's eyes just about pop out of his head. He points to something on the page, and Jillian and Michael both gasp. Alan Poe? Jillian says, wide-eyed. Is that Mr. Poe, our janitor? The 5th graders keep on grinning. Mr. Poe wasn't just a member of the club, Tim says. He was the one who started the whole thing. Dun, dun, dun. The next chapter is called Case Closed. Ooh.